Hello YouTube and welcome back one and all to part 24 of Christian, a comprehensive history. Now, because of how late videos ran from yesterday, I sadly wasn't able to do a Christian video on Monday, but fortunately we have just about enough time because we've got about 80 minutes left of the day. That's good, and for getting at least a good whole hour out of this out of this video. But it's strange, ladies and gentlemen, because this entire video, it's like literally it's just looking into a man's roller coaster of a life. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, unlike a roller coaster, unlike what I'm doing right now, roller coasters aren't particularly well known for having pauses. But if they do, they're no more for, let's say, a couple of seconds. This is a roller coaster with no brakes. It has whatever highs it does have. It's literally going at like let's say a 79-degree angle, and then there's like some kind of like very immediate spike where it's almost so unbelievable to see. It's like your head, like your neck, literally being ripped open, kind of like you would see a Muppet would do. But I'm waiting for the moment. I'm still waiting for the moment where something happens and it completely takes my breath away, for good or for bad. So let's see if that actually does take place. So if you guys want to check out the original video for yourselves, links will all be in the description down below. Let's do this. Part 24 in 3, 2, 1, and mine have just turned out just a little bit.
What made him this way? What is the attraction? What keeps us fascinated? This is the story of Christian.
January 25th or 26th.
On January 30th, 2010, Christian uploaded a video in which he apologizes for his actions towards Alec Benson Leary and his treatment of the mailbags.
I want to apologize to Alec for...
He didn't rehearse this, did he? Because he would have been out with it, saying, "Look, Alec, I'm so sorry for what I done. I hadn't realized the follow for my mistakes. Everything I have said, aka blah 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 blah," and then go from there. Just, Chris, if I had to make an apology video of this, I would maybe that's something I should do. Maybe I should just make like make an apology video in the style that you would expect Chris to do it, or expect anyone else to do it for that matter, just to give you an idea of how straightforward it can be.
Having said the things I said before and the threats, and want to make amends and peace.
Amends and peace.
I would appreciate it if the Astropedia ads were no longer on the Wikipedia. I asked multiple times to shrink them down, put them in the sidebar. I have not seen shrinkage. I have to scroll down to even see anything on the Wikipedia, to even to log in, to even to make edits, and it's very annoying and frustrating.
At what? Having to see the ads or knowing that they're just going to edit those back?
Get rid of
Reverse
those
all the edits, I meant.
ads altogether. I still apologize for saying the things I had said before, but I feel like we could best be at peace if Mal of that group removes all those ads all together. Please. Anyway, and also, I apologize for appearing to be rude.
You know, I'm just going to make a point about this right now, but with how many times you want to hear Chris apologize, do you think it ever occurred to me at any point that there's a reason why nobody forgives Chris for what he's done, or why his pleas for forgiveness? Mostly because of, one, the sincerity is strongly lacking in these apologies, and Chris himself is so stone-faced and very, very cold about all of this. It's like he's reading off a script. He has he knows he's done wrong, but he doesn't understand why he's done wrong or what are the implications for what he's actually done.
In the mailbag responses and deleting and editing some letters, but I can't deal with some topics that get brought up. It's just beyond my comprehension sometimes. And it bothers me.
Why does it bother you, Chris?
Okay? So, I promise to be nicer in my responses. Okay.
On that same day, Chris uploaded Mailbag 50 himself, which consisted of cherry-picked letters and comments from the troll-created Sonichu forum. It was prefixed with an explanation. This mailbag is the one that I have personally put together to show everyone the best examples of how letters in the mailbag should be phrased, thought, and written. Please take the following examples to heart when writing future letters to me at the Wikipedia. In a nutshell, though, the recent letters were just too darn harsh and confusing. These here are nearly harsh, but more comprehensible to me. I'm only doing this once, and these have come from a true, good, and loyal Sonichu fan forum site. However, Christian failed to notice that many of the statements that he thought of as supportive were in fact mocking of his character in a subtle way, which went unnoticed.
Yeah.
In Mailbag 51, which was submitted by the Wikipedia...
Maybe these the less confusing ones where, Chris, you're an absolute hypocritical piece of shit. Are those the sort of ones that Chris found confusing? Please don't ignore me. I'm not trying to be mean, just honest. Your point is well taken. That's all he's got for a response.
This up as normal. Evan Christopher George left a short and cryptic comment, hinting at legal action. There was also increasing talk of a Sonichu reboot, which would start the series over fresh, and would allegedly eliminate all narrative and copyright complications. Christian claimed that it would start with issue 11. On February 1st, Christian uploaded an odd video which came about during an undisclosed trolling scheme concerning a copyright dispute.
Good afternoon. This message is for the World Boiler certification over in London, England. And I'm addressing this to Miss Abigail Murdoch, I believe it is. I am allowing Miss Murdoch and her company to represent me in the court in this issue, in this international issue between us, between my Sonichu, the electric hedgehog Pokemon of the United States of America, and Sonichu, the eclectic hedgehog.
Did you think, sorry guys, I have to do this again. Did Chris, ever look into issues, if somebody was raising concerns? I'll just do this as an example. If I went into my phone right now, and I went under emails, let me just get me some things about spam. Let's see, let's see, Dr. Fustaine Amasu. Do you think, just what he's telling me right now, that he runs as a branch manager in Benin, West Africa, no specific city in Benin. He's just stating me, and I'm pretty sure, I don't even know if Benin is meant to be even in Africa or not. I thought Benin was Nepal and Pakistan and Myanmar and places like that, centered around almost the Himalayas. And if Chris ever got an email like that, I think he would half say that he'd make a video saying he's willing to comply if he went to open a Western Union account. I reckon he would make a video about that, because does he really just believe in everything he hears? Oh, God. I made a video like several months ago talking about, 418 scammers. Chris, it's amazing. It's amazing he never fall for a 418 scam. I mean, he's fallen for just about every other kind, but there you are.
Pokemon of London, England. Firstly, I would like to emphasize that one which I like to emphasize is our character differences and moral differences. My Sonichu is actually a hedgehog.
You had to have morale differences first, Chris, for there to be actual any difference.
With electrical powers. With the possible combination between another hedgehog and the Pikachu, of which I will not mention right now. And then we got Mr. Blockley's Sonichu. We're talking about a Jamaican drug dealer here. And lives in some other city, possibly in London. In London. Anyway, eclectic, high on the hedge, and high on the hog. You want some of this Pokemon?
I'm done already.
Anyway, big humongous differences, which the two are nothing similar at all. And even from the vague description I have of the
yeah, vague.
Mr.
I wonder what that
Barkley's
tells
version,
you.
We're talking about he would look something like that.
Oh my God.
And between my Sonichu, which in this page he's currently in his super form after using the KI crystals.
Oh, good
Big
tip.
differences between the two. So I move that we allow them to coexist internationally as my Mr. Chandler's Sonichu and Mr. Blockley's Sonichu.
I gotta close them.
And anyway, also I would like to, before I conclude, I would like to address this to Mr. Blockley. From what I have seen so far, you are obviously a troll trying to pick on me. And after I have shared about 10 years on the internet with my Sonichu towards the worldwide fan base, and I have a lot of fans.
10 years, I feel like we're wasting nearly 10 minutes just... What is the point of this video, Chris? This sounds like you're talking about nothing.
Forums, even pages that have slandered my good name, and the current Wikipedia, which you can find all my original time pages on there, originally hand drawn, and then the text edited for easier reading. But anyway, yeah, with that, again, Ms. Abigail Udock, you may represent me in the high courts over there in England, and I appreciate y'all's time. Thank you.
Later that day, Chris got a call from Alec Benson Leary, who was angry with the inadequacy of Chris's apology video.
I've been nice to you for too long. You didn't mention anything of what you were
Yeah, exactly.
for.
That's what I was just saying.
Oh, I'm apologizing for some of the things I said. Is that supposed to include the death threats, Chris? Because you should probably mention that specifically.
Yeah, exactly. This is what I was talking about. Just... How come people like me and Alec Benson over here can see right through this? And you know, there are probably thousands of other people who could see through this as well. But how the hell could Chris not see this? I don't, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like, if, you know what, I'm actually going to try and, be the bigger man here and say that, let's say Chris actually is intelligent to, actually, you know what, let's just say he's intelligent, period. Even he must realize at some point, with his other apology videos and the way they went wrong, that, oh, forget it, no, it's too stupid, I can't even continue.
Yes, it did include the past death threat.
No, it didn't, Chris.
Okay, well, I think I'd like you to make a better apology video. And in your second apology video, I want you to not spend 80% of the video making demands of me.
True.
Because, see, an apology video should be just that. It should be apologizing for when you did something wrong. Do you think you've done something wrong to me, Chris?
I admit that I have done wrong to you, Alec. With mislabelings and mistakes.
For the death threats, Chris. For the fact
mislabelings, kind of like
the death threats, Chris. In the way you threatened to kill Alec Benson Leary. Those very, very specific death threats. Not mislabelings. Specifically what you did. Don't try and dress up this issue, Chris. It's funny enough he mentions courts in the UK. Well, if Chris was standing in the Old Bailey and he started making excuses, it would be a very, very quick and very, very long sentence if Chris ever, if he ever was charged in the Old Bailey, which we know he probably wouldn't, but there's always a first time. Not that I want Chris to actually do anything bad to get him back into court, because he's got to realise, well, I say he's got to, but I don't think he ever will, because that requires far more effort on his part than anyone else's.
Like what a troll would do. Isn't that right?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to just tell you to make a more specific video if you don't know specifically. So please list the things that you think you did wrong to me.
All right, Alec, I'm sorry for mislabeling you and giving you death threats.
What did you mislabel me as, Chris?
Mislabeling you as a villain type of person.
Yeah, that was pretty bad of you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
That's it.
Death threats, mislabeling, calling you, making me out like a villain.
How about, here's a hint. Is there anyone close to me, a friend perhaps, that maybe you've mislabeled as well, that you've done wrong against?
Let me guess, Devin?
You got it right. You have wronged Evan. Do you know how you've wronged Evan?
By getting his name wrong?
For labeling him as an origin point for Simona.
No, actually, that was the correct thing. That was the one correct thing you did, was labeling him as the origin point of Simona, because that's what he was.
Okay.
What's the wrong thing you did to him?
Come on, Chris.
I yelled at him too.
There's a bigger issue. You stole Simon Shoe from him. There, I gave that one to you. And you won't give his character back. What do you think of that?
He can have his Simon Shoe.
Simonla is Simon Shoe. You took his Simon Shoe and twisted it around. That's what your Simon Shoe article on your Wikipedia says. It says Simonla's based off Simon Shoe. I told you last time, it doesn't matter if you go change the article now. That doesn't change what was in the past. You cannot write a new article in the present and change what happened in the past. Chris, why is parody and plagiarism, why are those concepts okay for you to do, but they're not okay for anyone else to do? Will you tell me that?
True.
Okay, I guess I cannot think of a good answer for that.
Yeah, that's because there really isn't one.
Yeah.
You understand that, right? The same rules have to apply to everyone. You don't get different rules than other artists. You need to atone for your mistakes. I want you to, in your comic, issue a full apology to Evan and admit that Simonla and Simon Shoe are not your characters, and you used them wrongfully without his permission, and you are going to retire them. Not really that hard to do. I mean, Simonla hasn't even appeared in your comic recently, so it's not like you're going to hurt your plot line if you just issue an admission that you're not going to use her anymore.
Well,
never mind. Just do it, Chris.
Not good enough. My ads aren't going down unless you say yes to that. That's one of my conditions. Because I've got several problems with you.
Yeah.
Anyway, I will think about that.
Fuck me, Chris. Why are you saying this?
Okay. Another problem. I want you to apologize to me for calling me naive. Do you believe I am naive?
Yes, and I'm sorry for calling you naive. No, I do not believe you are naive.
Well, good. You know, I don't think naive is that bad of a word, but what means the most is that you think it's a bad thing and you still used it. I want you to put that in your new apology video for me.
Okay.
You might want to get a pen and paper and just write these things down, because there's a few points here. I don't want you to forget any of them.
Yeah.
What are the main things that I want you to do? List them off to me, just so I know that you're with me so far.
Oh boy.
Okay, I'm apologizing for cursing you, giving you death threats, calling you naive,
What else are you going to do for me?
Retiring Simone Chu.
Labeling your comics as plagiarization of my Sonichu character and myself. And apologizing
you're going to admit that Asperger's original.
Evan.
Yep, good. And what else about Evan?
Yeah, I'm going to apologize to him, and he can have his Simon Shoe.
You're going to admit publicly that Simon Shoe is not yours to use, and you were wrong to do it, right?
Right. Simon Shoe is not mine.
I'm glad. We're getting somewhere, Chris. I'm glad about this.
Okay.
It feels like you're finally starting to listen to me a little bit, because you haven't been listening to me. You know, I thought about what you said, about how Asperchu wouldn't like to be named Asperchu. I thought that I might write it into my comic that I might have Asperchu say that he likes his name. That would probably clear that problem up, don't you think? Because I mean, you're always filling in Sonichu's speech bubbles. So whatever Sonichu says must be correct, right?
Oh, boy.
Sonichu says he likes something, then he likes something. So if Asperchu says in my comic that he likes his name, then he likes his name.
Yeah, okay, well, just don't make any references of my city of Quickville, or saying that my original Sonichu is related to Asperchu.
You already stated that the Sonichu and the Chaotic Combo and everything else that appears in my comic are just copies or, not connected to you. So it really doesn't matter what I do with my Sonichu and my Quickville and all that, does it? Because they're different than yours.
The Quickville is mine, and the Chaotic Combo is mine. They originally were mine.
You said the one that I'm using is different, though. That's the one you tried to steal from me, remember? Add this to your list, actually. You should probably apologize for stealing things from me, all the while you're trying to fight me stealing things from you. I think that's a good thing to add to your apology list.
Yeah, okay. Well, yes. Okay, before the recreation of Sonic and the Chaotic Combo in your book, just establish that they're not the ones from Quickville. They're just, they're from another. They're from this.
I'm not going to consider doing a damn thing for you until I see this apology video and I'm satisfied with it.
You will see the apology video, and I'll have it uploaded tonight.
Tonight, tomorrow, whenever you want.
Okay.
It's your schedule.
All right, I gotta go now. You take care. Bye-bye.
This was immediately followed by the requested apology video for Evan and Alec.
Oh, this will be funny.
I would like to take this moment to apologize to Mr. Alec Benson Leary for the curses and death threats and mislabelings I have placed upon him, such as not reading his own quote-unquote fan mail and all that. And also I apologize for misunderstanding his Asperchu
and Simon Chu. Chris, do you want to space specifically what it is?
As such, as much as it is his original character. Asperchu is Alec Benson's Larry character. Alec Benson's... Try saying that 3 times fast with plurals. Asperchu is Alec Benson Larry's own creation, not mine.
Yeah, we know this, Chris.
And I retract all the past statements I have made against that, and of his book being anything parodic or copycatishly to anything in my book. Anyway, along with that, I also would like to apologize to Evan for offending him and by taking false claim of his Simon Chu character, and I'm happy to give that back to him. And I retract all ownership of the Simon Chu character. And I'll leave y'all at that. So.
Okay, let's. His apology, to be honest, this time wasn't really that much better than the first one he did, but at least he's sort of like, it's like one up. He's stating specifically what he's done wrong here, or so he's kind of like +1 out of what he's done. So even despite his wooden acting and the fact that he doesn't really sound all that forgiving, and he doesn't seem to really understand exactly what he's done, and his lack of direction, I'd say this gets about a 1 out of 10 in terms of like how an actual apology video is supposed to be shot and done.
So, yeah. My respective apologies to all of y'all on the Asperpedia. Hope we can get along and maybe be less offensive advertise-wise. Okay. Be safe and have a good day.
The next day, Chris wrote a short blog post in which he requested that all of his fans bombard Mao with complaints to his email address.
Yeah, that'll
Soon
totally
after,
get his attention.
Chris made a video attacking Mao.
This message is to Mr. Mao of the goddamn Asperpedia. Your ad right now.
The very next day, and I reckon Chris is probably going to have to make yet another apology video after this. Chris, bad Chris, come on now. Really? Really?
What you have up there on my Wikipedia, that's just wrong. You're imitating Jack Thaddeus now, and I do not appreciate it. Either you remove your ads altogether, or I will have your head on this.
Okay, that's another death
I'm
threat.
already having your head on this because as much as I have a curse on, I possibly have a curse on me, you are going to get cursed as well.
Right.
Addressed to Mr. Mao of the Asperpedia. Take down the ads, or prematurely rot.
He then received a call from Alec, who started off by saying that the latest apology video did not address everything as was requested, such as Christian's use of the word naive.
You know, I asked you to apologize for the word naive. You didn't do that.
Oh, okay.
Because, you know, yeah, it is your bad. Because that word is such a huge deal to you. I wanted you to mention that specifically. Pretty sure I said that.
Yeah.
Another thing you said my quote-unquote fan mail, which I didn't like that. It was like you were suggesting I don't actually have real fans. That's not nice, Chris.
Well, I did not mean that.
Well, why'd you say it? I don't really like going through this, you know, night after night with you, Chris. I mean, I shouldn't have to tell you these things over and over. You tell a kid things over and over, and
Yeah.
an adult, a man should, you know, listen once and then know what to do.
Yeah.
Let's see, what else? Well, apparently you made a video right before I talked to you, cursing Mao. That wasn't good either, Chris. I mean, I don't think I specifically mentioned Mao when I talked to you, but I think you should have been able to infer that I don't want you cursing him either. You know,
He put a bunch of dicks on my Wikipedia yesterday.
I used to kind of sympathize with you about how Mao was being mean to you, but then I realized that you're a bully and you don't respond to anything except, you know, mean things like that. Now I kind of think that Mao had the right idea. Because I was trying to be nice to you, and all you did was insult me.
Yikes.
No, you misunderstand me. I am not a bully.
Oh, you're not. Death threats, that's not the word.
I am not a bully.
You are a troll, though. That's for certain.
I am not a troll.
Oh, bullshit. Bullshit. Ever since Asperchew appeared, you've been doing nothing but trying to shut me down. Just like the trolls that try to shut you down. But the great Christian Weston Chandler, he's perfect. You know, nobody can attack him or parody him, but if someone else does something that he doesn't like, doesn't matter if it has nothing to do with him, oh, there's going to be hell to pay.
Chris fakes an interruption by pretending to be his mother.
Excuse me a moment.
Oh, really? What?
Yes? Hey, Christian, listen. I need you to go play a case in the kitchen. Oh, okay, Mom. I'll take care of this. And take a kitty out, would you? Sure. Right there.
Chris.
Right there. Yeah, my mom's telling me to go clean the key.
You know, The last time I heard anybody try to impersonate their own mother, this was friggin' Norman Bates territory we're getting into, Chris. Don't go around the Norman Bates route. It's not a good road.
Pooh, I gotta go. So, is there a number I can call you back at? So I can talk to you later?
I really don't want to give you a number because you troll me on the internet already. You'll probably troll me on the phone if I gave you my contact number. You go ahead. I know letting the cat out is probably going to be hard work and is going to make you want to sleep because I know your biological clock is all whacked out from all your stress because I know it's stressful trolling me. So.
I'm not trolling you, but anyway.
Oh,
yeah.
Anyway, okay, well, Chris, I'll let you go, but I want to let you know that that your apology video was not satisfactory, and you haven't even apologized to Evan at all in your comic like I asked you to. So you go ahead and go, and I will talk to you later. I'll call you when you don't.
Well, by the way, I unblocked your email, so you can send your thoughts in typing as well.
Such a gracious, such a gracious allowance that you made there.
During this time, the explicitness of the Wikipedia ads increased. This included an image parodying the sex act seen in the drawing She Came for Quick, which depicted Chris satisfying his naked mother with his fingers. He never made any mention of this. On February 4th,
really?
An ad appeared which stated that Christian had just passed away. Later that day, he had another call with Alec Benson Leary, who gave him an exhaustive list of 18 points that had to be addressed in Chris's next
Admit that Alec has a greater fan base. Admit that he asked Evan permission to use Simona. Admit that Simona was never Chris's creation. Admit that he attempted to edit the Wikipedia article to say that Simona was his creation. Acknowledge that Evan took away his rights for Chris to use Simona and that Chris has been ignoring this. Apologize for using the word naive about Alec. Apologize. Okay.
Apology video. These included admitting Simona was not his original creation, admitting to calling Alec naive, apologizing for depicting in his comic that Alec possessed female prisoners in his basement, violently killing Simona in his comic, and promising to look sincere while giving the apology.
Look.
Most of these points were addressed in a video recorded later that day.
First off, I'm not dead, and I have a few announcements to make. Don't listen to that stupid Bow and his advertisements. Do I look dead to you? No, I'm alive, safe, well, and healthy. As for the announcements, I admit Alec has a sizable fan base, possibly greater than my own.
Now he's just...
Remember
what I said at the beginning where I thought Chris was literally just reading off a script? Well, now we have almost confirmation. Third time's the charm, but we finally got to it.
I originally had permission for use some of my comics from Evan, but then he took it away. Simona was not mine, so I'm giving it back to him by killing her later. I apologize to Alec for calling him naive multiple times. And apologize to Mal. Here's a forgiveness blessing. Forgiveness blessing. There you go.
That was so fucking weak. Jesus.
I just been hard. Forgive me, but I just had to dig a bunch of snow. It's snowing now. My car's stuck.
Oh, so stressful.
And I apologize to Alec for taking Asperchew and his recreated characters for re-editing and whatnot. There'll be a page later explaining all that. That was another apology I made to him earlier about pretending my mother. I apologize for accusing him for female entrapment and rumors about rape. It was never meant to be rape. It was just like, he had those 4 roach chews in his basement, kept them in cages, treated them like hamsters. Giant hamster wheels, water bottle, food pellets. No rape. Just hamsters. You don't rape a hamster. And I had no excuse for not updating up some days. But real life just happens, though. That's my only excuse. Real life.
What life, Chris? What life are you talking about?
Other than that, I have no excuse. And I apologize for disrespect in the mailbags and belating updates. Yeah, so with that, I'll leave you all with that. And I'm alive, safe, well. Okay, have a good day.
a few things he missed out there, but I don't want to go through the entire list because I'm pretty sure it extends to a lot more than just the obvious ones.
Oh, and one more thing. I admit that I trolled Alec in a sense like I was trolled before, and I apologize for that. I didn't want to leave that detail out. I trolled Alec, and I apologize for that. And I will not troll him anymore. Okay.
On February 6th, the Wikipedia was locked to further edits, allegedly due to a cease and desist order from Evan Christopher George. Chris was deeply saddened, but still continued to send some brief, lighthearted emails to the Wallflower. On the 8th, Alec called him again to talk about recent events.
I'm just calling to see how things are going with, well, I know that Evan went forward with freezing the Wikipedia on you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what are you thinking about that?
What am I thinking about that? I can't edit it. I can't edit squat.
Well,
and I was going to answer some more mailbag letters.
Well,
so I finally got my PC back and running after a weekend and not having it after a power failure.
Well, that's good. I'm just, Evan, he got kind of impatient because he was waiting a long time for this. Do you have them finished? The Simona death page and the apology page?
I'll have them upload either tomorrow or Wednesday whenever the thing is unfrozen.
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and say that I'm just not satisfied with your apology video, and I don't think I'll be asking you to make another because it's become apparent to me that I don't think you really even understand what you did wrong.
Yeah.
It was rather apparent that you didn't put any thought into why I wanted you to say those things at all.
Actually, I did get the point behind everything.
Which was?
There was even less emotion in your voice in that video than there is normally when you apologize for something. I mean, I've seen apology videos you made before, and they're all pretty lackluster, but this one was just like a slap in the face. You said those things that I asked you to say because you thought that reading them off a list would get my ads off of your site. I took my ads off your site for the moment just because I don't really want Asperchu associated with your perennial legal troubles. But, if you do get Wikipedia back up, then my ads are going back because I'm not satisfied. That's if you get it up, Chris, because as far as I can tell, you don't really even care about Sonichu that much.
Oh, yes, I do.
Well,
I have to continue in the pages.
Chris, I warned you numerous times over the past several weeks that someone was targeting you for a lawsuit over problems you were causing with Sonichu, and if I was warned that someone was targeting me for a lawsuit and they had grounds to sue me, I would deal with it right away. I would drop what I was doing. I mean, you had time, Chris. You had all the time in the world. Doesn't that seem reasonable to you? You don't go to school. You don't have a job. I asked you, what your day was like last time I talked to you, and you said that, you were sleeping until 11 in the morning. I mean, 11, Chris? That's ridiculous. I would kill to be able to, sleep in all day. I have to get up early every day because I have things that I need to do. I mean, I don't understand what this whole biological clock thing is that you keep falling back on.
You know what? Look it up on Wikipedia.
Look up what?
Biological clock.
Biological clock is a phrase that women usually use to refer to their most fertile reproductive years. I really have no reason, no understanding of why you would apply that to yourself.
Yeah.
It reference to sleeping schedule.
I don't have problems with sleeping, any sleeping schedule. I think what happens with a lot of people when they have absolutely nothing to do with their days, that's when their sleep schedule gets messed up. See, I have a routine. I have to go to work, and I have to go to school, and I work on my comic because I care about my comic. You don't have a job or school, and you don't care about your comic, therefore your body
I actually do care about my stuff.
Your actions say otherwise. You don't upload any pages. How many times have I told you you have to start uploading pages? Not just when I wanted you to make the apology page. I just mean in general. But you didn't listen.
Well, I have been working on the pages, and I will be uploading them as soon as the thing gets unfrozen. And I had to go through school without a PC the past weekend because I was on a power failure.
You could still draw you could still draw the comics, Chris. This sort of thing hasn't really stopped you before. You could draw the comics or try and rehearse what you were doing for your apology video. There was plenty of things you could do with your time. That you know, the power thing is a nuisance. Yes, many people would say that, but it doesn't limit that you could do absolutely nothing with your time. Come on now, Chris. You don't need me here to tell you. You don't need Alec here to tell you this. Because no matter what Alec would have said before, why on earth would you? If you didn't listen to him before, what makes anyone believe you're going to listen to him now? Because I was trying to give Chris the benefit of the doubt for the long run, but now these excuses that I'm really beginning to hear from the horse's mouth themselves, they are really starting to get very, very petty.
Like the powers. Yeah.
Just kind of like when I was talking about how kind of like hacked off I was in part 22. This is also very, very just seems like excuse after excuse after excuse as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Knocked out all weekend. I have blackouts on occasion and my computer shuts off, and then when the power comes on, I just press the power button and my computer comes back up in a minute.
You know, for me, it came. I tried powering back on, and then the farthest it had gotten was just the introductory HP Pavilion's blue screen, and then it would go into looking like one of those color bars where the station's not broadcasting. So
what you're saying is you don't take care of the equipment that you need to do your comic.
I admit I need a new computer.
Why can't you buy one? You know, I've seen
one right now.
I've seen, you know, videos of you in your room. You've got you've got like a 40-inch HD TV in there. You've got your PlayStation 3. You've got like a wall full of video games, but you can't afford a basic computer. Like, you know, nothing fancy, costs maybe a couple $100. I could go buy myself 10 new computers right now if I wanted. How many video games do you own that you don't play, Chris? I've played a lot of games in my lifetime, but I own very few right now because as soon as I'm done with them, I usually sell them. You sure have a lot of time on your hands, Chris, to play all those games, for that matter.
Yeah.
I've never come close to owning as many games as you have.
Yeah.
Chris, how many hours a week do you spend on video games right now?
I don't know. I'd say about maybe 2 or 4.
2 or 4 hours a week? A day, okay. That's an awful lot of time to be spending on video games per day. And that is time that you could be using on your comic if you cared about your comic. But obviously you care about video games.
Comic. It's just I use that. That's actually between drawing and coloring.
But you could use that video game time to upload them. And you never did that.
Oh, yes, I do.
How many days have you missed since you promised you would upload 2 pages a day? You don't care. Your actions say that you don't care. Actions speak louder than words, Chris.
Yeah.
I don't even consider you competition anymore. Do you know that? Because you...
What competition?
You obviously...
Exactly.
My competition are artists that actually care about their work. And you play video games all day. And then you sleep in because you have nothing to do. And then when you do actually take time to do something, you don't actually work on your comic. You just attack me. And then when I'm nice to you, you continue to attack me. And then when I get mad and yell at you, you back down right away because you can't stand up in a fight. And then when I'm nice again, because I think to myself, I don't want to keep yelling because I'm not that kind of person, then you become disrespectful again. Do you have anything to say, Chris? He hung up.
Oh.
Later that day, the Wikipedia site was wiped clean of all info, only to be replaced with a link to the Asperpedia. Chris made a video attacking those responsible the following day.
As much as it is to my dismay, I have to point out, but you can thank Alec, Evan, Sean, and Mal on the Asperpedia, because I got confessions from them, and they have done so already. They took down my own Wikipedia. They even prohibited me from being able to make any updates. because of that goddamn Evan. If I could go back to before November 2007, I would have never viewed that damn ED page. And then I would have never had to deal with you damn dirty trolls.
He says that, but considering what's going to come up in the next couple of videos, and considering what this is going to lead to Chris now, I think it's very safe to assume that I straight up just don't believe it when he says if he could go back, because he would just make the exact same mistakes as he did before. Because if he didn't learn from his mistakes before, what makes you think he's going to learn now?
But I know every last one of you now, and I have suffered through so much torment. And this one just really
boo-hoo-hoo, Chris. So...
And you all just want a response from me. You get one hell of a response. And all my true loyal fans can blame those on the Astropedia, those four, because they have done the wrongest.
Now we're just making up words.
They took away that which inspired their own comic pages. They destroyed what was undestroyable, but can be rebuilt. And I will rebuild it.
So that doesn't make sense, Chris. If it was destroyed, then don't call it undestroyable, but say it's rebuilt. So is it undestroyable or not?
With my own help and my own funds.
You mean your own funds? You mean funds that the government, the taxpayers, give you because you don't have a job, because you've never looked for one for over 10 years at this point in time, and he hasn't even continued. He hasn't done anything of this kind at this point, or even in the next 10 years.
I have people on the inside. The Wikipedia will be backed up. And I never wanted to kill Simona. But I was practically blackmailed by that goddamn Evan. I would have him in a psychic link within my psychic powers, frozen in time. And then I would put him in the jail cell, as with the same fate between Alec, Sean, and Mao. And after what they have done unto me so far, which they did not have to do, but they did, and they are all guilty of tormenting me like they have, I would have them executed. And I don't care what they think or what they say. This is my stand against you four. Rot in hell! Anyway, everybody else, have a good day. I'm still shoveling snow and drawing and coloring, regardless of there being a website or not. Good day.
As a result, he did indeed kill off Simone LaRoche in the story, which seemed to have satisfied Evan, as the Wikipedia returned virtually back to normal on Valentine's Day, with the ads for Asperchu replaced with ones for Sonichu Revolution, which was a comic created by Alec during the downtime of the Wikipedia. According to Leary, due to the troubles of the site and Christian's frequent tardiness, he felt that it was his duty to give Sonichu fans what they wanted, and offered them his own version of the proposed Sonichu reboot, which addressed the ongoing copyright issue by brutally murdering copyright-infringing characters. In the meantime, Christian posted an update on his blog, writing that he would continue working on his comic, and that things with his girlfriend were going well. He then resumed answering mailbags, which have been backlogged since before the lockdown of the site. For Mailbag 52, he adopted a new strategy to answer difficult and offensive letters. He replied to 10 challenging correspondences with the same response. Your letter has been read fully, and your thoughts have been imputed and accepted for better improvement. Thank you for your time and efforts.
Jesus Christ.
He abandoned this tactic from Mailbag 53 onwards. Despite Alec's best efforts to make Christian aware of Sonichu's damning legal issues, it seemed that everyone except Chris knew that Sonichu could never truly come to fruition, as it was, in essence, an extension of its creator, an amalgam of ideas taken from various pop culture sources, existing in a nonsensical fantasy world, destined to fail.
Okay there, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to do it for part 24. Right, that was again a lot. There's a lot we have to talk about with that one. Because the entire premise of part 24 was literally Alec trying to like present himself as, you know, charismatic, as, you know, somebody fairly reasonable to the problems of Simona and the problems about Chris's comic overall, legal issues, and basically trying to get him to just do the right thing for once and just, you know, make a very, very simple apology video. You know, trying to sound, you know, sincere and sound like he actually regrets what he's done with his characters and the things he said, the threats. If he had just straight up just did it and just quit hiding behind excuses time and time again, I still don't think that would have gone any closer to solving Chris's problems, but it might have been at least one step closer in the right direction. So what I've just literally gathered from almost this entire video is that Chris is just shoveling the blame, shoveling anything he doesn't like or anything he doesn't want to hear, just out of sight, out of mind as far as he's concerned. So far from making anything relatively sincere, the most sincere thing he actually did in that entire video was make the threat to the Aspidisia for Evan, Alec, Mao, and Sam. Was it Sam who was the other person? Let's just do a quick. Okay, so it's Evan, Alec, Mao, and Sean. Okay, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure we got that right. Damn it. Okay, that's better. So the most sincere thing that Chris did in the entire video, as opposed to apologizing, as opposed to making himself look better in any sense, all he knows how to do, and I've said this about Chris before, but I'll just say it again once again verbatim. The only thing that Chris actually knows how to do better than just about anyone better than anyone I actually know at this moment in time, is continue to make things worse for himself than better. All he had to do to solve himself from these problems is to actually care and to actually give a shit about trying to actually make his life better, which involves, you know, sometimes involves sacrifices, involves making, you know, if it's for something you actually you care about, like Chris claims he cares a lot, then he would have tried a lot harder and he wouldn't continue to make excuse after excuse after excuse. I can guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, that in the next video, in part 25, which we'll do tomorrow night, he will make an excuse within the first 5 minutes of the video. It will not take long, but I reckon he won't even make it to 5 minutes. What do you guys reckon? Well, only time will tell, but I doubt it. I doubt Chris. I don't. Chris is also one of the most predictable human beings in history, because this pattern of events is just, this is not new, and Chris knows, should know by now this is not new, and hence why we're here, and hence the way he's kind of turning out to be. So anyway, I hope all of you guys have enjoyed part 24 of Chris Chan, A Comprehensive History by Gino Samuel. Please make sure to leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section down below. Let me know what you guys thought of Chris Chan for yourself, well, part 24 for yourselves. And I hope to love you guys again in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye for now.